Hello, everyone out there that will find this or that it comes across your page. My name is Nick. I'm an intuitive reader, and I wanted to take a moment to, make a compilation or some sort of video to let you guys get to know me as a reader as a little bit better, I should say. I know there's a lot of people out here that claim that they're readers, claim that they're psychics, claim that they're intuitive and all that. Fact is there are people that are gifted that do, use their gift to help people out, but you also have to be wary of the people out there that are there, claiming that they have a gift and they really don't. It's so very easy for somebody to take a pendulum, such as some sort of tool, or, like tarot cards like I have over there, and just give out answers that are not actually accurate answers. With that being said, I wanted to let you know kind of my story, my background story. I started noticing things kind of different, I guess, since I was younger, since I was around like 5 years old, I would think, yeah, 5. I had reoccurring dreams of certain things. I always like noticed numbers repeating. I would notice things that were, out of the ordinary, and it was happening more and more that I stopped believing that it was coincidence. And as I slowly got older, I started to embrace it more and learn more about things and how to actually use the gifts that I was given. So one of the first things that I did, which I can show you, is I started out using a pendulum, which some of you may know what this is already. It's a tool that you may see often on here. But I would start out using one of these and connect to my spirit guides. Before I even did that, I took the time to really learn and see who my spirit guides were. Because when you're messing with energy or connecting to any energy or any type of angel or ancestor, spirit, or guide, you need to be very careful with what you're doing. So I took the time to learn who mine were, and then went from there. So I would start out, asking yes or no questions, and using the pendulum, like you've probably seen other people do here on TikTok. Then it kind of just expanded from there over to me actually purchasing my first deck of tarot cards. I wore these things out, and you have to remember, as a tool, you are using not only your energy to provide readings and answers, but you're tapping into your guides. So the more and more that you put your energy into these and use them as your tool, the better that they will work for you. So you can see that I have, like, these are really worn. And I just worked with them like every day, doing readings for people, having them, test me yes or no questions, and I kept getting confirmation of things that I told them. So then about 2 years ago, I remember it was in January, I decided, and I kept getting pushed to get out there and do this whole thing on social media. And I was like, oh my God, I don't like people watching me. I'm not a big crowd person, but they kept pushing me to do it. And so I did my first live probably 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago in January, almost 3 years ago, and did it. And I just kept, it was like slow at first as far as the audience, and it kept building from there. And once people, saw that you're a true, authentic reader that is actually giving out accurate answers, they kept coming back and coming back. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, I don't know if a lot of you know, some of you may, I don't know how tapped in you are with your spirituality and everything, but I learned more and more as I started ascending and going through what is called ascensions, as you're hiring up, and more gifts are opening, you're strengthening gifts that you already have, and I was learning to better understand what those symptoms and everything were. So then it kind of switched over from me using the tools that I showed you to where I was able to hear things in my head and also see images and answers in my head. So within probably like a year's span at most, I went from using those tools to where I am now, to where a lot of the time I do not even use cards or a pendulum or anything anymore. I have just like a regular like lined notebook where I will just sit there and like scribble back and forth, and it just helps me to focus and channel the answers that I'm getting at that time. Most of the time I'm not even writing anything down. So with that being said, it started to become more and more clear on those types of things, on getting the answers. What else do I want to say? The answers would come, like, because some of you have asked me how the answers would come. It started out like showing me in different shapes of like what a yes would look like. It might be a straight line or a check mark or written out as like a YES. And no could be like a circle or an N or an O. And that's how it worked for me. And then it started to become more and more to where it was like actually words and I could hear them saying it. As well as I would have, you know, pieces of songs, like song lyrics come to me. And then I do different things when I'm asleep, like I'll, you know, get messages from people. The other thing that I do is mediumship. I do a lot of it off live. I've done some on live as well, which some of you may be aware what that is. You may see other people do this. It's where you can talk to people or pick up on their energy that are not only living, but those who have passed on. They can come to you and, you know, give you a message that they may want their loved ones or somebody to know. And I use my guides to help me on that. I've done it so many times now that it's amazing, and I feel very blessed to be able to have the gifts that I do, because I was always fascinated with mediumship as a child, and to sit here and be able to say that, you know, I've connected and described in detail and, you know, gave information or messages to people and describe these people that have passed on to their loved ones without me ever even knowing them or met them is pretty awesome. The other thing that I like to do is candle work. I have my own space set up. It's important to me, like whenever I'm doing something, like this is my space that I set up in my room to really, you know, stay grounded, be able to focus when I'm doing something. I like to use incense and sage to clear out my space and keep everything, you know, clear from negative energy and all of that. As you can see here, like I have, you know, my cards over there. I have my money bowl set up in the middle. I do candle work for other people if you're ever interested. This right here that I have in front of me, just a quick glimpse. I had my sage going there, and that is a manifestation candle that is going. Halloween was always my favorite holiday as a child growing up, and it still is. So you can see Halloween stuff all around my room. But I'm always open and willing to educate and teach people. If you have any questions or you're starting out as a beginner and there are things that you're experiencing and you're not understanding, perhaps I can help. So I do go live like every day, if not every day, every other day, and I do my readings on here, answering questions, all of that. So don't feel free to reach out if you need some sort of guidance, candle work, mediumship, intuitive readings. I do those. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a better look inside of who I am as a reader, not just somebody out here that you come and see on live and is just giving you answers. So thank you for all of you that have been out there supporting me for the last 2 years and some change. I appreciate it, and hopefully we have tons of years to go. So thank you all.